ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। प्राप्य पुण्य कृताम लोकान उषित्वा शाश्वतिः समाह शुचीनां श्रीमतां गेहे योग भ्रष्टोऽभिजायते अथवा योगिनामेव कुले भवति धीमताम् एतद्धि दुर्लभतरं लोके जन्म यदीदृशम्. ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಅರ್ಜುನ ಕೃಷ್ಣನಿಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಯಾರು ಯೋಗ ಭ್ರಷ್ಟರಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೋ, ಯಾರು ಯೋಗದ ಈ ಪಥದಲ್ಲಿ, ಆತ್ಮ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರದ ಈ ಪಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪಡೆಯದೆ ಅರ್ಧ ದಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೋ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ ಟು ದೆಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹಲವಾರು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಜುನ್ನಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಈ ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಪ್ರಾಪ್ಯ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಕೃತಾಂ ಲೋಕಾನ್ ಉಷಿತ್ವಾ ಶಾಶ್ವತಿ ಸಮಾಹ. ಪುಣ್ಯ ಕೃತಾಂ ಲೋಕಾನ್, ಈ ತರಹ ಯೋಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣತೆ ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗದೆ ಇರೋರು, ದ ಅನ್ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಯೋಗಿ, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the living pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. ಶುಚೀನಾಂ ಶ್ರೀಮತಾಂ ಗೇಹೆ. ಶುಚೀನಾಂ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ರೈಟಿಯಸ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ, ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣ ಕುಟುಂಬದಲ್ಲಿ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವತ ಧರ್ಮವನ್ನ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಲನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಅಂತಹವರ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಥವಾ ಶ್ರೀಮತಾಂ ಗೇಹೆ, ರಿಚ್ ಅರಿಸ್ಟೋಕ್ರಸಿ, they will be born in rich families, or he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. ಅಥವಾ ಯೋಗಿನಾಮೇವ ಕುಲೇ ಭವತಿ ಧೀಮತಾಂ. ಧೀಮತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ those who are great in wisdom. ಅಂತವರ in such homes this unsuccessful yogi will take his birth. Verily such a birth is rare in this world. Etadhi durlabhataram loke janma. There are many planets in the universe, and on the higher planets there are great comforts. The duration of life is longer, and the inhabitants are more religious and godly. Since it is said that 6 months on earth is equal to 1 day on the higher planets, the unsuccessful yogi stays on these higher planets for many years. Vedic literatures describe their lifetime as lasting 10,000 years. You can just imagine. Here, within a short span of maximum 100 years, we try to gratify our senses with all the material things as much as possible. But still, after every speck of fluctuating enjoyment, there is a big misery waiting for all of us, right? Everybody has the experience of this. After every happy moment, there will be a moment of sorrow, right? After every pleasure, there will be a challenge, right? So, but when he elevates himself to the higher planetary systems, in the higher planetary systems, the enjoyment is 10,000 times more than that on the earthly planets. 10,000 times more, right? So, and like that, they live on these higher planetary systems for 10,000 years. So, any man, any person will be definitely bewildered by such an arrangement of enjoyment, right? That enjoyment we are working hard on this material earthly planet to get, that is so easily available in the heavenly planets, that too 1,000 times better in quality, right? But one cannot remain there perpetually. Though you may enjoy for 10,000 years, after that, what will happen? Krishna again says that in another place. When the fruits or the results of one's pious activities expire, Chine Punne, he has to return to earth. Chine Punne Martyalokam Vishanti. Yet, even upon returning to this planet, the unsuccessful yogi meets with fortunate circumstances. For he takes his birth in either a very rich family or a pious one. Generally, according to the law of karma, if one enacts pious deeds, he is awarded in the next life by birth into a very aristocratic family, or into a very wealthy family, or he becomes a great scholar, or he is born very beautiful. In any case, those who sincerely begin spiritual life are guaranteed human birth in the next life, right? So this one guarantee is there, that if I perform spiritual activities in this life, at least I will not get the form of any other species in my next life. I'll get a human form of life. This guarantee is there. But when I get a human form of life, again I will get Krishna consciousness, again I will attain to the stage of spiritual life. That guarantee is not there. What is the guarantee? Who knows that if I take risk in my this life by not completing my spiritual life, spiritual journey in this life, suppose if I take next life as a human, what is the guarantee? Who knows that I will get an opportunity to take birth in the house of a family of a devotee? Who knows I'll get the opportunity to be in contact with devotees, sadhu sangha? There's no guarantee, right? That is why Srila Prabhupada says, don't take risk. Finish the business of this material life in this life itself. After this life, perfect your life, human life, this human life in such a way that you are not going to come back again in this material. After leaving this body, you are straight away promoted to the spiritual world. You have to design your life, live your life in such a way. Thus, one with such good birth should understand that his fortune is due to his previous pious activities and to God's grace. These facilities are given by the Lord, who is always willing to give us the means to attain him. Krishna simply wants to see that we are sincere. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that every particular person has his own duty in life, regardless of his position and regardless of his society, right? If, however, he gives up his prescribed duty and somehow, either out of sentiment or association or craziness or whatever, takes shelter of Krishna, and if, due to his immaturity, he falls from the devotional path, still there is no loss for him. On the other hand, if a person executes his duties perfectly but does not approach God, then what does he earn? Right? Many times I have come across some people who say, why do you have to go to temple, sir? You just remain a genuine person. Don't harm others. Live a good life. Do exercise. Give charity. Feed poor people. That's it. What is the need of going to the temple? This is what people ask, right? But our Shastra says, how much ever good personality you become in this material world, it is just like a person inside the prison house, a prisoner is trying to become a good person inside the prison. What is the use? After all, you are inside the prison. An intelligent prisoner, an intelligent person who is in jail suffering his punishment, he will be thinking, if he is intelligent, he will be thinking, when will I get out of the jail? This is real thinking. Only a fool will think, I will somehow, do some good job, social service, charity, this, that, and I will become a good man, famous man inside the jail, and I'll remain in the jail. Right? We call it a fool. So his life is indeed without benefit. But a person who has approached Krishna is better situated. Even though he may fall down from yogic platform. Krishna further indicates that of all good families to be born into, families of successful merchants or philosophers or meditators, the best is the family of yogis. Right? So one may be born into different, one may be born into any kind of family, family of merchants, family of philosopher, family of meditators, but one who is born in the family of yogis. Yogis, again, to remind everyone, one of us, a yogi is a one who is constantly in contact with the Supreme Lord, who is constantly in connection with the Supreme Lord. He is a yogi. So that yoga can be bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, whatever way, if one is constantly in contact with Krishna, then he is a yogi. So one who takes birth in a very rich family may be misled. It is normal for a man who is given great riches to try to enjoy those riches. Right? We see this. Anybody who has got more wealth, he is prone to bad habits. Thus, rich men's sons often become drunkards or prostitute hunters. Similarly, one who takes birth in a pious family or in a Brahminical family often becomes very puffed up and proud. This also we have seen. Thinking, I am a Brahmana, I am a pious man. There is chance of degradation in both rich and pious families. But one who takes birth in a family of yogis or of devotees has a much better chance of cultivating again that spiritual life from which he has fallen. Krishna tells Arjuna, Tatratam buddhi samyogam labhate paurvadehikam yatate cha tato bhujah samsiddhau kurunandana. On taking such a birth, he again revives the divine consciousness of his previous life and he tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success, O son of Kuru. Being born in a family of those who execute yoga or devotional service, one remembers his spiritual activities executed in his previous life. Anyone who takes to Krishna consciousness seriously is not an ordinary person. He must have taken to the same process in his previous life. Why is this? Purvabhyasena tenaiva hriyate hi avashopi saha jignasurapi yogasya shabda brahmati vartate. By virtue of the divine consciousness, by virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles even without seeking them. This also we have seen. Right? Sometimes some children, without even their parents or guardians pushing them, they are attracted towards the religious activities. They are attracted towards the spiritual activities. They are attracted towards the pious activities. There is no need of anybody telling them or forcing them. How come that tendency is coming? That is coming from the previous life. They would have performed some kind of spiritual activity, some kind of devotional service, so that they carry that attraction in this life also. In the material world, we have experienced that we do not carry our assets from one life to another, right? Very true. How much of a wealth you have, however big bungalow or house you have, how many ever cars you have, you cannot take it to your next life. I may have millions of dollars in the bank, but as soon as my body is finished, my bank balance is also finished. At death, the bank balance does not go with me. It remains in the bank to be enjoyed by somebody else. This is not the case with spiritual culture. Even if one enacts a very small amount on the spiritual platform, he takes that with him to his next life. However small, swalpa punya vatam rajan vishwaso naiva jayate. A little service done in the path of spiritual life will save you from greatest dangers. नेहा अभिक्रमनाशोस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमपि यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्. So whatever little service done in this spiritual path is never gone in vain. It is accounted and it is taken for your next life too. He takes that with him to his next life and he picks up again from that point. When one picks up this knowledge that was interrupted, he should know that he should now finish the balance and complete the yogic process. Suppose in this life, a person comes to know, he gets very quickly attracted to spiritual activities, and he comes to know by reading such books of Srila Prabhupada that it is his previous lives, you know, activities, spiritual activities, previous lives credit that he got, and today he got quickly attracted to Krishna consciousness. Sometimes we see this example also, that some devotees, some people in general, we speak to them and we try to inspire to them to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and sometimes people find it very hard to chant even one round of Hare Krishna Mantra 108 times, right? And some people, they come in contact today and we speak to them, please chant one round. On their own they start chanting 2 rounds, and next week they'll come to the temple, they will tell Prabhuji, I started chanting 4 rounds, somehow I'm feeling good, I started chanting 4 rounds. And after a month they will tell, I started chanting 8 rounds, and within few months they will quickly reach 16 rounds. How come this is coming? One is the causeless mercy of Srila Prabhupada, our Acharya, and another is the continuation of our spiritual activities from the past life. So, when I have come in contact with spiritual activities in this life, I should understand that in my previous life, I left it in the middle. So, in this life at least, I should not take risk. In this life, I should finish this business and I should go back to home, back to Godhead, to live an eternally happy spiritual life, not to suffer again the miseries of the repetition of birth and death in this material world again and again and again. So when one picks up this knowledge that was interrupted, he should know that he should now finish the balance and complete the yogic process. One should not take the chance of finishing up the process in another birth, but should resolve to finish it in this life. Right? We should not take risk even in this life. Because as I said, we have no guarantee that I may get a good birth. I may get birth in a Brahmana family, but what if I get very much puffed up that I am born in such a big family, such a big Brahmana I am. And once you are puffed up, no chance of progress in spiritual life. Ahankara has no place in spiritual life. Instead of progress, you will degrade yourself more. And what is the guarantee? If I get birth in rich family, there also. When Prahlad Maharaj, the movie is getting very famous, the Mahavatara Narasimha, right? It's a really amazing movie, exactly according to the teachings of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, right? When this Prahlad Maharaj was asked by Narasimha Deva, please tell me, what do you want from me? I have come for your call. Because you called me out of love, I have come to you. Now that I'm here, please ask what boon you want. And Prahlad Maharaj, folding his hands with great humility in his eyes, he says, my dear Lord, suppose if I ask you a bigger kingdom, bigger wealth, there are chances that I may forget you. I may rebel against you, just like my father did. And you will take incarnation like Lord Narasimha and finish it within few seconds. What is the use of such wealth? I do not want such wealth. If you at all want to benedict me, give me the benediction that I may not have the material desires in the core of my heart. Let there be no material desires in the core of my heart. Let me serve the Vaishnavas, the devotees of Supreme Lord, eternally. This is my desire. Let me go to hell, but let me not forget your holy name. This is the desire of a devotee. And this is the teaching of the great devotee, Prahlad, for whom Lord himself took the incarnation of Narasimha. So, we should not take the chance of finishing up the process in another birth, because in the next birth, we will continue to remember Krishna or not, there is no guarantee. But we should resolve to finish it in this life. And how it is possible? It is very simple. Srila Prabhupada has made spiritual life very simple. You just have to chant the fixed number of rounds, follow the regulative principles. Srila Prabhupada says, I will take the responsibility to take you back to Krishna. If you chant 16 rounds every day, if you follow 4 regulative principles, without fail, I will take you back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada gives this guarantee. No other Acharya has given such a guarantee. Srila Prabhupada gives. Very merciful. So we should take advantage of this and we should try ourselves best to follow very strictly these principles so that when we are counting our last few breaths, we should not feel embarrassed in front of Srila Prabhupada. We should be proud that I tried my best. My dear Gurudeva, I tried my best to follow the regulative principles you instructed. I tried my best to chant my 16 rounds sincerely without fail. Now that I'm counting my last few breaths, please take care of me. We should be determined in this way. Somehow or other in my last life, I did not finish my spiritual cultivation. Now Krishna has given me another opportunity. So let me finish it up in this life. Thus, after leaving this body, one will not again take birth in this material world where Birth, old age, disease, and death are omnipresent. They're present everywhere. But will return to Krishna. One who takes shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna sees this material world simply as a place of danger. Padam padam yad vipadam natesham. Every step there is danger in this material world. Why? Because every step there is the glare of material world. There is the glare of Maya. You go to a mall, you are attracted to 100 different things, right? You start looking at those things, you will forget Krishna. That is why the material glare, the material sense gratification is danger for a devotee, for a practitioner. Sense gratification is dangerous. Sense gratification is poison. Visha bhakshanopi. The great devotees have compared sense gratification to poison because when one takes that poison, his spiritual life is killed. He forgets the Lord and he suffers in this material world birth after. So one who takes shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna sees this material world simply as a place of danger. For one who takes to spiritual culture, this material world is actually unfit. Right? Srila Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say, this place is not fit for a gentleman. Once one has approached Krishna and has attempted to make spiritual progress, Krishna, who is situated within the heart, begins to give directions. In the Gita, Shri Krishna says that for one who wants to remember him, he gives remembrance. And for one who wants to forget him, he allows him to forget. Sometimes people ask, so many people are suffering in this world. Why God is not taking care of them? Why God is not mitigating their suffering? There's a beautiful story I heard from one of my senior devotees. There was one barber, and one gentleman goes to do his beard and his haircut. He goes and he sits, and while waiting for his turn in the queue for his hair cutting, he was seeing a newspaper, and he read in the newspaper that there was an accident somewhere, there was a murder somewhere, there was an airplane crash somewhere, there was another fight somewhere. Right? So many miseries in this material world. If you open the newspaper, you see all only miseries. One devotee was telling, if you open the newspaper every day, what you see is what all you read in that newspaper is nothing but who all got fried today. This is what the newspaper says. So this guy was reading newspaper, and he was sharing the story with others. And when his turn came, the barber was shaving his head, cutting his hairs. And meanwhile, the barber asked, "Sir, I see you as you read in the newspaper, so many miseries in this material world. Why God is not actually helping the people? Why people are suffering so many diseases? Why people are killing each other? Why God is not coming and saving them? Why people are meeting with accidents, airplane crash? Why so many people together dying? Why God doesn't save them?" So this guy, though he was an intelligent person, he had no answer. He just, yes, yes, he said, and he, once he was done, he paid his money and he came out. And on the way, when he was coming out, he saw a person sitting outside the barber shop. Actually, he was a beggar, and that beggar, he had not cut his hairs for years together. He had not done his beard for years together. He was so dirty, right? Now this person started thinking, why this person is so dirty? Whereas I'm coming to the barber, getting my hairs cut, beard shaved every now and then. But this person, why he is like this? He got the answer that this person is not approaching the barber. He immediately went to the barber and he said, "You said I got the answer for your question that you asked me why God is not saving these people, why God is not mitigating the suffering of these people." And he asked, outside your shop, there is a person who is seated there without, with unclean, beard and hairs, long hairs, not cut for years together. Right? He's so dirty. Why he is so dirty? Then the barber immediate response was, he said, he didn't come and approach me. How can I help him? And the person said, same is with God. When you are suffering, you should understand the problem is not bigger than God. You should approach God and get your problems solved. In fact, constantly you should be in touch with God by chanting His holy names, by offering prayers, by remembering His pastimes, reading His pastimes, being in the association of His devotees, right? If you don't do this, how can you expect that God will mitigate your suffering? Just like how can the people expect that the beggar, without going to the barber, that he'll become clean? So with this, we end today's session. If you have any questions, you can please unmute yourself and ask the question. Yes, Mataji?
Hello, Prabhu. Can you hear me, Prabhu? Hello?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, you can continue with your question.
Yeah. Prabhuji, how to overcome the fall downs due to some immaturity or something like that? How to overcome? Sometimes in devotion, devotees fall down due to some reason. Hare Krishna.
Yes, I'm hearing. Yes.
Yeah. So how to overcome that, Prabhuji?
See, fall downs, um, the word fall down is what you call a common word, right? So it can be fall down is not only when we break the regulative principles. Even if we are not able to follow even the simple principle of waking up in the morning, early in the morning, or we are not able to respect a Vaishnava properly, all these are counted as the small fall downs, and these small fall downs will lead to bigger fall downs. Now, how to overcome? Instead of overcoming the fall downs, try to follow the principles, instructions given by Prabhupada strictly. Then it is very easy. The principles will be the falling down will become what you call slowly it will reduce, and one day it will become nil. Just like we see some great devotees, great acharyas, they sometimes, yes, they are the Nitya Siddha devotees, but there are different kinds of devotees: Nitya Siddha devotees, Sadhana Siddha devotees, Kripa Siddha devotees, right? So we are all Sadhana Siddha devotees. So Sadhana Siddha devotees will have this effect of Maya on them. And so it is not easy to overcome these fall downs within short time, right? If you practice for decades together, trying your best to seriously practice, sincerely practice, then definitely you will overcome all the fall downs. But if you have begun very few days, few months, or few what you call few years, it is just like, suppose you take a bucket filled with mud, right? And now you want to remove the mud. You keep that bucket under a tap and open the tap with a little speed, right? So as the water starts entering the bucket, it will disturb the mud settled in the bottom of the bucket, and slowly the water starts coming, the mud starts coming up. You increase the speed more, it starts coming up with much speed. You increase, give the full speed to the tap, the mud settled at the bottom will start coming up. So similarly, at the bottom of our heart, all the material desires are, our heart is filled with that. Right? Sometimes when we are leading a normal life without Krishna consciousness, of course it's not normal, and a life without Krishna consciousness, all these anarthas, the dirt in the heart is not seen. That's why people sometimes, some gentlemen, some women, they look so nice in the outside world without Krishna consciousness also. Sometimes devotees are surprised, astonished how even without Krishna consciousness a person is so nice. It's because their dirt is settled down. It has not come up. So when a devotee starts practicing seriously, it is just like pouring the water in the bucket with full speed of the tap. What happens? The whole dirt is disturbed at the bottom and it comes up. Similarly, in the devotee's life, initial stage, all the dirt will come out. And at that point of time, all the devotees who are experienced, who are seniors, they should give them support. And the devotee who is experiencing this, that all the dirt is coming out, he should not entertain that dirt. He should quietly watch the dirt going out and chant Hare Krishna and be peaceful. And suppose you are not able to peacefully see the dirt going out, but you yourself engage in the dirt, again you fell down, again get up and again start the activities. Today you fell down, again start from tomorrow afresh. Take the determination, I will not fall down again tomorrow. Tomorrow again you fall down, again get up, and again 100 times you fall down, 100 times you get up. So falling down is not a big problem, but if you don't get up and start again, that is a problem. Even in material world also, to get material success also, this is the principle, right? What to speak of spiritual life, right? And Krishna and Srila Prabhupada are very merciful. If they see a devotee really struggling to keep up the spiritual activities, then definitely the help will come from the top. And when the help come from Srila Prabhupada and of course we are constantly being helped by them, but still, if we want to see the hand of the Lord in our life, then we can see in this way that constantly strictly try to follow, and then definitely you will overcome your fall downs. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so our time is up. Thank you all for joining this session. We'll see you again in next week. Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.